Imagine dusty Earth giving up treasures that rewrite the past. In the ruins of a medieval castle in Okinawa, Japan, archaeologists discovered a handful of ancient coins, Roman coins from the 3rd or 4th century AD, buried alongside an Ottoman coin from the 1600s. How could currency minted in Rome nearly 2 millennia ago end up half a world away in a Japanese castle built in the 13th century? The mystery deepens when we learn that this castle, Katsuren Castle, was a Ryukyuan fortress with no known ties to Europe. Specialists x-rayed the corroded discs and identified one coin bearing Emperor Constantine's portrait and another showing a Roman soldier with a spear. All evidence suggests these are genuine Roman copper coins. Katsuren Castle was once a hub of East Asian trade, primarily dealing in Chinese coins and local silver. Yet here, buried about a meter underground, were these strange outliers, Roman and Ottoman coins. Scholars believe the coins weren't used as currency in Japan, but were instead carried in through trade networks as curiosities or even buried deliberately in foundation rituals for good fortune. One theory suggests they arrived via Southeast Asia or China, changing hands many times before reaching Okinawa. And yet, we still don't know who brought them or why they ended up there. The coins don't rewrite history, but they whisper of journeys never documented, of travelers and exchanges lost to time. It's these unexplained threads that keep historians and archaeologists digging. If you're captivated by journeys through time, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. We've only just begun unraveling the past. Now, let's turn our attention across the world to the deep forests of North America, where a single silver coin discovered in Maine has sparked decades of debate. In 1957, amateur archaeologist Guy Melgren was digging in a Native American shell midden in Maine when he unearthed a silver coin. He assumed it was a medieval English penny. But over 2 decades later, experts realized it was something far more extraordinary, a Norwegian coin minted during the reign of King Olaf Kyrre in the 11th century. This Viking-era coin, found in a native site in Maine, is the only Norse coin ever discovered that far south in North America. It predates Columbus by over 400 years. Archaeologists have dated the Goddard site, where it was found, to around 1180 to 1230, roughly aligning with the era when Vikings were known to have settlements in Greenland. So, how did this coin travel so far? Some believe Norse traders or explorers from Vinland may have ventured farther south than previously believed, leaving behind trade goods. Others argue that the coin passed from hand to hand through indigenous trade networks, traveling vast distances over generations. The mystery doesn't end there. The coin was deliberately holed, likely worn as a pendant. Was it worn by a Norse traveler or by a native person who valued it as ornament or symbol? While some skeptics question the legitimacy of the find, most experts agree the coin is authentic. Its story, though, remains elusive. If you're enjoying these ancient puzzles, leave a like and tell us your wildest theory in the comments. Let's keep going. Now we sail to East Africa, where the winds have uncovered a Chinese secret buried for centuries. On Manda Island in Kenya, archaeologists discovered a small copper coin. But this wasn't African or Arab, it was Chinese, marked with the reign of Emperor Yongle from the early 1400s. This is the same emperor who commissioned Admiral Zheng, his legendary voyages across the Indian Ocean. This coin is concrete evidence that Chinese ships may have reached East Africa decades before the Portuguese ever rounded the Cape. Manda Island was a prosperous Swahili port until it was abandoned around 1430. The coin was found in the final occupational layers of the site, placing its arrival in that final window. Was this coin dropped by a Chinese sailor? Was it traded through intermediaries? Either way, its presence shakes our assumptions about early globalization. A tiny copper disc carries enormous weight, suggesting an African-Asian connection before the age of European empires. Now, let's shift from the shores of Africa to the snow-covered hills of Scandinavia, where millions of coins tell a very different story, not of mystery, but of magnitude. Across Sweden, Norway, and Denmark, archaeologists have unearthed hundreds of thousands of Islamic silver coins, dirhams, dating from the 8th to 11th centuries. Viking hoards are filled with them. In fact, Scandinavia has more of these dirhams than anywhere else in the world. Vikings didn't use these coins as money. They cut them, weighed them, and hoarded them as silver bullion. The coins came from the Abbasid and Samanid caliphates in the Middle East and Central Asia, sometimes thousands of miles away. This means one thing. The Vikings were deeply connected to a global trade network stretching from the Baltic to Baghdad. They traded fur, amber, and slaves in exchange for silver. The coins were often brought home by Norse traders or warriors returning from journeys along the Volga River into the Islamic world. Yet some questions remain. Why did the flow of dirhams slow in the 11th century? Did the spread of Christianity change trade priorities? Why are there local imitations of Arabic coins in some hoards? Whatever the answers, these hoards prove that the Viking Age wasn't just raids and battles. It was also commerce, diplomacy, and connections that span continents. Now, one final mystery. Imagine walking through India's medieval streets and spotting a foreign king's face on a coin. Could an English coin from the Tudor era, maybe from the reign of Henry VIII or Elizabeth I, have ever made it to India before the rise of the British Empire? No such discovery has been officially confirmed by archaeologists, but the possibility fascinates historians and collectors. India's coastal cities were trading hubs. The Portuguese, Arabs, and Chinese all came through. Could an English coin have arrived by accident, or perhaps via secret envoys, missionaries, or sailors before formal empire? If one were ever found in a secure archaeological context, not a collector's market, it would force historians to re-examine the timeline of Indo-European relations. Could it be a lost artifact of a forgotten encounter? And with that, we return to the heart of our mystery. Coins are more than metal. They are time travelers. They tell stories of empires, of forgotten merchants, of shipwrecks and chance encounters. Each coin found where it doesn't belong cracks open the past, exposing the limits of what we thought we knew. From Roman bronze in Japan, to Norse silver in Maine, to Chinese copper in Kenya. These are the clues left behind by the hands of history. And sometimes, a single coin is all it takes to rewrite a chapter. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history's mysteries, please like the video, subscribe for more lost treasures and ancient puzzles, and share your thoughts below. And if you're a coin collector yourself, or just love the stories they tell, check out the Numismatics app, your digital companion for cataloging coins and connecting with collectors across the globe. Stay curious. The past isn't finished with us yet.